it there's levels of what comes first, what comes later, that has to be addressed in order for you guys to make a solid base to build upon. So you guys can build upon that even if I'm not here, not giving you guys like intricate lessons. So the first thing that I want Splash and everybody else here to recognize is that communications will be the very first stepping stone of making a team work, like a teamwork work, if that makes sense. Uh, so when somebody says like I need care, or when they say the enemy doesn't have this cooldown, we know this in general. Like we've watched like teams do this, but we don't always know what the purpose is. We don't always know what they're for. So the breakdown is the calls are not always useful. Some calls just clutter the call. Like it makes us distracted in some ways. So it's important to know which calls are needed and are important. Main one I want you guys to first know is I need care. You guys are already doing this pretty well, but that is the number one call you guys should be looking out for other people as well. Like not just you. When you hear I need care, you usually, unless you're like too far away from your team, should turn your head and care for your teammate. That should be the number one call for all things going forward from now on. Okay. So when you hear I need care, everybody on your team is expected to cover for you. And reversely, that also gives your team a sense when you say I need care, you know that your team's going to converge for you. So that's a sense of security within a team-based environment that you guys need to know in order for you guys to not act like a five stack that that just regularly plays Overwatch. So that's going to be the first thing. Clearing a call and knowing what to say and knowing how to react to that said call is going to be the number one thing. So I'm clearing up your communications right now. So number one, I want you guys to know I need care and know that that is not a light call. Like it's not a oh I'm half HP and but I have cooldowns. I need care will not be that for that. So when you've been forced out and you've used the cooldown, expect that the enemy is gonna say like let's say Elliptic's playing Sojourn or Ash was the and he was poking up forward, and then the enemy kind of dived him, and he got to half health. Sojourn sliding away or Ash coach gunning away, you no longer have your survivability tool, right? So even though now you're in a safer area than before, you still need to expect that the enemy is going to say Ash no coach gun or Ash half Ash one. You need to expect that teams are going to do that. So the first thing that Elliptic's going to need to do is say, I need care. Does that make sense? So even if you're up front and you still have coach gun and you're still half HP, if your team are already healing you, you don't need to say, I need care, because that's going to grab the attention of both your tank and your other DPS as well as your supports. That's not going to be a light call. You don't want to just spam I need healing like Genji does. You want to be the one knowing if I say I need care, my team's gonna look around and look for me. So that's number one thing. Number two, you guys are already doing this, but somebody is half, somebody has no cooldown, somebody is one. So those all mean like similar things, but they also mean nothing to you guys right as of now because you guys don't have an action set for those calls. Like somebody could be half, and maybe you half expect maybe your team hopefully luckily follows up on that call and shoots in the general direction of whoever was half that you called upon. We don't want that to be like a oh let's hope my team follows up on what I said. We want it to be a okay, this guy's won. This guy needs to die. This guy has no cooldowns, and this guy's currently the weak link. This could be a potential kill. So you guys need to be able to follow up on it. So you guys can say he's half, he's one, but I want you guys to make a certain call that ends up in the enemy having to die. Like let's say in this tense, the enemy has a Maga. Leon, Kiri, Venture, Sim, right? Let's say the Venture used Dig and then use Dash. Venture has no cooldowns. And let's say he was half. Then you guys can make a call. Like Venture's one, Venture's half, but you guys don't know like he can die, like they can die. You don't know if the Venture is killable. So I want you guys to make a call. Kill Venture. Kill Sim. Kill Maga right now. Like it's not a one, it's not a half, it's not a 1 HP, no cooldowns. It has to be kill Maga, kill Venture, kill Sim right now. And your team understands that. So number one is care, number two is kill. You guys can continue to use whatever calls you're already comfortable with. Just add those two to your dictionary and know that in this team setting with Daybreak, your team understands this specific call and are gonna practice this call, like following up on this call repeatedly from now on. So even if I'm not here, you guys know that okay, this is a call that we've been practicing on. Maybe at first it's not gonna work as well. It's not gonna. Oh, I said I need care, but my team didn't really care for me because they were caught up in the battle in the mid fight. That's a team mistake. Your team has to look to carry you when you make that call. So maybe there's a situation where they can't look away. They're caught up in something. Then that means you've been caught out, and that's a macro issue from there. That's no longer a calm issue. But the calm issue has to be solved first in order for macro issues to be addressed. Does that make sense? If the calm issues do not get solved, macro issues do not mean anything. You can't solve macro issues without calm issues being solved first. So, first thing I want you guys to practice is communicating. Let's move this way, let's move that way. Those are general things. You guys can do that and change interchangeably whenever you guys want. I'm going on a flank. Those things are all fine, but I need you guys to have cemented call signs for what you guys are doing mid fights or pre fights. So I'm gonna give those two to you. You guys can add some lingo to your team calls as you guys go on. But first are gonna be care me, care Kiri, care Anna, care care me for like splash or lipstick, and everybody has turned their head. And if you guys have gotten good macro and practice macro enough, you guys won't even have to like look around. Like you know where your sim's gonna be, you know where your Kiri's gonna be, you know where your Ana's gonna be, and you just need to snap your head in that general direction in order to care anyway. So that's one thing. Number one, communications. Number two, macro. Macro is different for almost all maps and for all comps. So this is gonna be where VOD reviews are gonna be useful. Communications, you don't really need VOD reviews. You just need to practice them in scrim and practice them like when you guys are playing comp together, whatever. Those are not very useful in VOD reviews. But what VOD reviews are for looking at what macro we had at the time. And looking for mistakes in the macro that cannot be covered with comms. So, like, let's say we made the right call, but the macro was so bad that we couldn't even follow up on the call even if we wanted to. Or we were forced to use so many cooldowns just to cover for that person or look for that kill that we end up all dying just for that one kill. Like, or we just end up dying trying to save that one person. That's bad macro, and that is now a problem, even if communications have been cleared and have been made. So, what I'm going to do here in this VOD review today is look at the macro plays that our team is doing, or where we're placing ourselves, and what we're identifying as the threat, how we place ourselves on the map, and how we're pressuring chokes, how we're letting them just walk by and stuff like that. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so Splash, you can start the match. I will be asking you to kind of change the angle a little bit downwards so we can see the entirety of the map.
Yeah, sure. So like this, or just like
So
Look down.
this.
yeah, like
Okay,
that.
let me do
It's fine.
this.
Yeah, that's fine. So we just need to see where everybody is. Make sense?
Yep.
All right. So press N again and press spectate overlay on the right side next to the cross.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got it.
there we go. All right.
Let me do
So,
standard speed.
okay. So, one thing I need you guys to notice is that when you guys are playing Brawl, you guys are going to play a lot of Brawl, so I'm just going to go over this. Brawl comps require short sidelines and they can punch really hard when you're up close. They do not want to be playing long range at all. Any long range will make it difficult for Brawl comps to bear any like threat to the enemy while like surviving the enemy's damage. So when you look at the enemy's composition, it's a little weird, right? You see that the Uyang Kiri is a very good dynamical like poke comp. Like they have a lot of long distance value. Like Kiri can shoot from afar, heal from afar. Suzu and TP. Uyang has a shit ton of damage going down main and can curveball and just hit anybody with because the hitbox is so easy to hit. But you look at their front line, Venture Tracer, Maga, they are all very up close characters, right? So when you see like discrepancies in the enemy's comp, like let's say this wasn't a Maga but was an Orisa. Then suddenly the Orisa can poke from afar as well, so it's harder to engage. But this Maga needs to be up close and personal to you. So when you guys see that, you guys can exploit things in the map and recognize, okay, they have weaknesses and we have to exploit them. It's not going to be easy, but when you guys are practicing, you guys can start thinking, oh, Maga, Ram, Orisa, they're all brawl heroes. They want to stay up close and personal, so that's what they're going to be strong at. So if we play up close and personal to them, we're playing into their strengths. But let's say in this very same position, they're playing ball. Suddenly things are very different, right? Like it's not a Maga. They're not going to be up close and personal, but they're going to be all over you. Like they're going to be behind you, they're going to be on your side, they're going to be in front of you. It's going to be very different to play. So when you guys play into the enemy, you guys need to first recognize if you guys are on a brawl. This is for brawl. If they have a longer reach than you, like they have a longer reach in as in range, they have different ways of engaging, they're faster. You guys need to recognize that and look for potholes to hide in. So let's look at this map. Splash play a little bit more.
Yep.
So this is open space against the Mago and against the Korean that we are. The longer you guys stand there, the more likely it is that the enemy can poke you down. Right now, we're all in open space. The enemy aren't doing that great either. They're playing
The objective
very,
is now active.
very conservatively. Okay, stop right there. All right, so they got the first kill. Why? Sure, because maybe their tracer got a good hit. But what caused this to be possible in the first place is that we were all very stuck in open space. Like the tracer had no business being that up close and personal and being that free to just walk into our backline. But she could because we were all in open space. So if we're gonna play brawl, if we're gonna play bunker, one thing that could have changed the entire dynamic of the tracer being a lot more endangered when she goes against our backline was if everybody was stuck inside the building. Does that make sense? So
Yep.
when we're wanting up close and personal characters, then we want everybody to be uh in tight closure so that it's scary for them to come in. So when they move in, they're all in our element. Does that make sense? So this is gonna be a factor in almost all maps and all like little hiding places for all the maps out there. There's gonna be some maps that do not have these hiding places and that are not as advantage, that don't have to hold the advantage of a short sideline. What's up, Cody? You good? Okay. So that's why there are maps that are good for brawl and that aren't very good for brawl, right? So in this situation, it is still possible to play brawl because we still have these small enclosures. But you have to remember, these open spaces are going to be the kryptonite for our comp. We want to move past these open spaces and not stand there. Like, just because, like, in our rank, like in this plat diamond range, we we don't die immediately just because we're standing in open space, doesn't mean that we should give them the chance to do it anyway. So don't rely on the fact that the enemy can't hit their shots. Rely on the fact that you can hit yours and you can dodge theirs in the first place. The reason why, like, there's smurfing and the reason why higher teams don't even take that much damage against lower teams is because they don't give them the chance to hit them in the first place. So when you guys are playing brawl, look for a small place to move into, look for a small place to hide before you engage, and you guys are gonna realize at some point that in order to do this, speed is a big factor in doing so. Speed is going to be very important in moving through open spaces because if you guys don't have speed, it takes forever to get to the enemy, and the enemy can react very quickly. So when you guys play Brawl, I want you guys to always have a speed character, whether it be Lucio, preferably, or even Juno. So when you guys play Brawl, I want you guys to always have a speed character and move into in tight spaces and move through open spaces very quickly and with a purpose. Like, whether it be to push the enemy away, just like not even to kill them, to push the enemy away or look for a pick, you guys need to move into open space quickly, and then if they don't leave, you gotta leave. You guys can't stay in open space and think, oh, we're good right now. No, it's gonna end up bad. Like, you guys are giving them a chance to kill you. Even if they're not that good, they're gonna end up maybe getting a kill because we missed a shot or two, we didn't hear the call, and we're gonna make mistakes. That's gonna be the given for our things going forward. When you guys move into open space, talk, let's go in, and then expect to go out, okay? Expect to go out and do not plan to stay very long. Your turn, when your team moves in, expect that your teams are going to use cooldowns to move in. And then if you don't move out, your team doesn't have the cooldowns to protect you anymore. Does that make sense? So that's what we're going to be doing from now on. And with that in mind, we're going to watch this VOD a little bit more to see if we were able to stick to this, or why what we did was dangerous, and or why what they did was also dangerous. Okay. So Splash, if you could start the VOD one more time. Yeah, you see, we were all in open space.
Team kill.
Okay, Splash, you can move down a little bit more, like just get closer to the map. Yep. Yeah, that's a good angle. Yeah, that's great. So try playing it again. I want you guys to notice. You can keep playing the video. I'm gonna keep talking over the video. I want you guys to notice that the Venture and Tracer are playing very wide. Does that make sense? So they're not playing on top of each other because their DPS are better that way. But that also means that we're still stuck in open space. The Tracer is engaging on us because we are in open space. Their Maga is going in on us, and we have nowhere to hide, and now we're dead. And we got to pick because their Maga overextended into us without their support line following up. But you see what happens when we get stuck in open space? We give them an opportunity to deal big damage and unnecessary poke onto us. So when you guys move into spaces, you guys always need to think, I want to get out of here. Like, I don't want to stay in this open space. I'd like to stay in an enclosed one. And Sneepy, it's gonna be your job to be watching the flanks usually because you're on flex CPS. It's not the hit scan's role to be doing so.
Let me move.
Yeah, you can move. Like you can move as you wish. I'm just gonna be talking over it, and I'll be asking you to move if I feel the need be. So their venture, like you. So one of the good things about playing wide is that you can cover a lot of ground, but it's also the fact that you can't hold the ground very powerfully. Now they use ults. They're moving in. We're still in open space. Like we're better than before, but it was still open space,
Team
and they were able
kill.
to exploit it. And one alt economy mechanic I want everybody to remember is if you guys lose two fights in a row, the third fight is also just almost an automatic loss. There's almost never winning a third fight if you've lost two fights in a row, which makes the second fight so much more important if you've lost the first fight. So when you guys are fighting and you've lost the first round, make sure you make the second fight count. The second fight will be the most important fight in the entire map. So if you guys lose the first fight, think, oh, this second fight will probably decide whether we win or lose this control map. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So a macro on this map is that it has a lot less open space, but the area around the point
5,
is almost all open
3,
space.
2,
So it's hard to
1.
control
Round
point on
2.
this map,
Capture
which
the
is why a lot of
objective.
teams play a lot of dive here because it's a very short enclosed space and there's not a lot of places to hide. You see the Venture and the Tracer moving in through the sides, correct? So
Yeah.
now Maga moves in, so does the Venture and Tracer, and now they're all over the place. We're in open space. Their Kiri and
The
Leon are
objective is now
uncontested.
active.
Do you see how that works, everybody? We
Yeah.
want
Mhm.
this. We're not even looking at the skill shots they're pulling off here. We don't know if this Kiri and Leon's actually getting a lot of damage or healing in, but just looking at how we're positioned, it shows that they have so much more comfortable seedings when they're shooting us. We have much more uncomfortable seedings when we're shooting back that it makes it harder for us to win in the first place, even if we hit all the shots. So where we're positioned will decide how easy it is for us to win.
So, what would you recommend we have done there? Like, we got on point, but point is open space, so we were already in a losing position to begin with. Should we
So
have
okay,
been marking the
Splash, can
tracer
you
vector?
back up like 40 seconds?
Yeah. Do
Actually
you want
50,
first
like
thought?
60.
Yeah.
Yeah, first fight.
First fight.
Ready.
Oh, I went too far.
Nope, nope. Keep going. Forward.
That's it.
Alright. Yeah, I saw 20 seconds and I thought it was fight
All right, we
starts.
made it to point first, right?
Yep.
Okay, play. You can click play when you're ready. You can go outside the point. We all see like the inside anyway. All right. So, okay, pause here. So, right before this, like when they were still looking at us and they were looking to engage, what we could have done here was either A, we sent both the DPS onto the sides to check where the enemy DPS are so they can't do what they're doing right now, or B, we give up space. We're ready and we know that okay, we're on point, but that means that when they engage, we could be stuck in this open space. So you're ready to give up the space. You let them come in, but you respect it by backing up that much. So Splash, if you were stuck there, you're in the middle of the enemy team and you're not shooting at like four different people at the same time. You're shooting at maybe one and you're hoping that he's the right target. But if you were in where Sneepy was right now, right? Then suddenly they have to shoot you in order to shoot the enemy, like our Cassidy and our Kiriko and our Ana. They have to get past you. They're already past you and they're shooting at our squishies. So if we're in this position we have to be ready to give up space, or if that's it's either that or we dig through their side. Like we go through one of the sides, we choose a side and say, okay, let's push through here. So it's that readiness factor. We either split and some of us push forward into their back line, or B, we give up space and we harden ourselves and we fortify ourselves down onto the point into the areas where it's harder for them to reach us. But you guys are definitely going to see that it's much easier to do that with some heroes than it is with others. A Widow holding this area would be very, very difficult to get value, while Tracer and Sombra is much easier and simpler to get value here. So, as much as Widow is an extreme example, it shows that other heroes will struggle compared to other, like, some better heroes relatively. So if you guys are playing Cassidy, if you guys are playing Symmetra, if you guys are playing Orisa, you guys have to admit that, okay, we're not the best at controlling space here. Like we are trying to, but we need to be able to give up space in order to maximize our potential for this comp. So in this situation, Splash, you can play the video. Uh, if we had backed up and if we had gone right back, like Sneepy's up front, Splash is up there, our Fury's alone in the back, our Ana's getting shot at, Elliptics has nobody to shoot at. We're all over the place, not shooting at anything at all. But if we had all backed up, then if somebody was shooting at us, all five of us could just turn our heads and look and shoot at him. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It makes it much more comfortable to shoot and kill somebody if everybody is just
The
positioned to
objective is
conveniently
failed.
do so. But we're not, which makes it easier for them to kill us, even if they're not better than we are. If they're better than we are, that's not even a problem. But if they are better, then we have to at least position better than them in order to make it easier for us to win. We have to out position them. So in this situation, pause. Here's a little macro for this map specifically. Sneepy's doing a good job pushing through the left side of the map. But Sneepy's alone. If you look at the enemy's positioning, there's a Kiriko right next to both the Maga, the Venture, and the Tracer. This this Kiriko has great positioning for where she is. She has access to every single one of her teammates for either carrying or for helping support with damage. If you look at where Sneepy is, and if you look at where our team ends up, like 3-4 seconds later after this, we're not as comfortably placed. So what I would do here is send one of our supports and Sneepy off to the side, push the enemy sides, and when they give up the space, then your main team can push forward because they're no longer pinched. And that's why it's important for the team to communicate, and for Sneepy and for the support that goes with him to communicate. The sides are clear, sides are not clear. So in this situation, Elliptic will probably deal a lot more damage to the Maga than the enemy Venture is dealing to our Splash. We can take advantage of that. That means Elliptic, like I said before, you're going to be in charge of dealing a lot of damage to the enemy tank. Your kit is mostly designed to chunk down a lot of the health for the enemy tanks because they're designed to have a high output of damage. So you can just flash, like you can fan the hammer away just at the Maga, and you're getting the value you need. If you can consistently headshot the Maga, that's even better. But if that's not the case, you can still chunk down the enemy in many different ways because that's what your kit is for. And let's maximize that potential to do so. All right, our Ana Kiriko comp here is not as strong as we would normally like because we don't have the speed to overtake what they have, but we do have the poke to do so. So in this situation, I would want three of you, Elliptic, Ares, and Splash, to be pressuring this Maga and pushing him out, forcing him away, forcing him to run. He's in open space, but he has full health, so he still can hold that space for a little bit. But that's only that little bit is under the assumption that he can get chunked down since he doesn't have a lot of cover. If we don't chunk him down, he can stay there forever. So what you guys need to recognize is okay, if somebody's in open space, we're free to shoot them, and they're gonna have to either leave or look to kill us instead. And usually the person in open space has the disadvantage. So side is something that we're always going to be needing, whether it's dive or brawl. But in general, these are going to be the rules. Still, if you're on Lucio, you can go with Sneepy and help push the tracer out by shooting him, by booping him, by amping heals and whatever. You can also do the same with Kiriko. It's gonna be more difficult as a Kiriko, but it's still possible. Sneepy, you can do that on Venture, Reaper, whatever flex DPS you play. And Splash as a Ramatra or a Orisa or even a Reinhardt, your role will be to take the attention of the enemy tank and keep his attention on you. If it's not even a Maga, if let's say it's a Reaper or an Orisa, you want to be the one taking the brunt of the damage. The tank has a lot of damage to output. You do not want him to be ignoring you and shooting at our backline because that's going to be a lot of pressure that 250 HP heroes cannot take. You want to be the one checking him and making sure he's shooting you. If he's not shooting you, he's shooting one of our teammates, and that's not a good thing. So you want to be mirroring where the enemy tank is almost at all times, unless it's a ball where you cannot chase. Okay?
Yeah.
Did everybody hear their roles, or does anybody want any clarifications? All right. So that's gonna be the rules. You guys, I want you guys to remember. It's gonna be the general rule. But if you guys want to switch characters in between, play different characters, that's fine. But I want us to practice this role first, so we can practice other things after. Once we get this down, then we'll learn other things along the way. This is how we did it with Drake's. Drake's
Yeah.
got a lot of success after mastering a single comp. We went off. We mastered Ryan, Reaper, May, and then we mastered a Diva comp, then we mastered a Winston comp, and we used all three to get all pretty far. And we were pretty masterful on specific maps because we knew how the map worked. We're gonna be doing the same thing here, but with different heroes according to uh, the hero pools we have at hand. And I want everybody to know what their role is. Okay?
So here, as the Reaper, am I supposed to be constantly going on the flank? Because after if Splash takes play, I'd like go back down main and try to help Splash chunk down the Maba.
Okay, so remember, our objective is to keep the attention off of our supports here. And if you're on the flank and the enemy tracer isn't there and he's on our backline, I don't want you to continue to be on the flank. I want you to cover for the supports. So the reason why you do B is to protect A, then don't forget that the purpose is to protect A. You're doing B in order to protect A. And if the enemy's going for A and you're still on B, then suddenly your value for protecting B, like going on B, was is no longer there. You no longer have a purpose for being on that flank.
Mhm.
You can either A, go back protect to A, or C, you can go against the enemy supports and do the same thing. But that's a gamble. You're looking to get the same, like let's say the tracer like hits all three like blinks terribly and he doesn't get the kill. You're gambling on the tracer not doing good. Like let's say he gets a pick and you go in and you don't get a pick, suddenly that you're out of the job. So you want to be picking the safe thing first. You want to be mastering the safe thing first. You want to be knowing how to protect your supports first. So when later when you have the option of knowing, oh, my supports are fine. Then you can practice going in. I want you guys to learn how to protect your teams first before knowing how to actively kill the enemy team. Because if you can't protect your team, you're not going to kill the enemy either because all your team are dead. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. So I want you guys to look at the map from now on. I'm going to keep on talking. Splash, you can just keep playing the video afterwards. You guys will get the general gist of what's going on from now on, even if you guys don't see like the people hitting their shots. Like just the movement is gonna tell you why we're losing. What they're doing right now is setting up positions, which is important, which is something we also need to be able to do. All right, we're moving forward. Their tracer is unmarked. Tracer died on a flank. That's a great catch. And we use an ult to fight back. And now their Mog is in the enemy in the middle of our team. It's unfortunate that we lost both of our supports, but you guys see why things like that happen. All right, we're moving through space now, but we're still in open space.
Excavation initiation.
And now that we're still in open space, still had to use TP to get out. And was still in open space and he died. We're not even looking at shots here. We're not even looking at the execution here. But the positioning tells us a story. Like it shows us why we were in such a disadvantaged position over what we were doing.
Ready for battle.
The reason why I'm not giving you like this is the cheat code, you guys have to do this and that. I need you guys to understand what's going wrong in order for you guys to know what's right. Okay, so here's a map that we've practiced before, and I've gave you the coaching on where to hold and what to protect. From my memory, you guys held point A for a little bit, but the execution of what we're doing here will vary based on how well we hit our shots or how much we give up space at what times, and we understand what our team is doing.
Stop the payload.
They use the cheeky TP strats. So one thing Sneepy can do here is stay in the little box that the enemy on is currently standing in. You can talk, Sneepy.
Like in here.
Yeah. Because that'll force them to either look to kill you or use their cooldowns.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Dill on the flank ready to care for you, so you're good. All right, we all covering for elliptic. That's good. That's good movement right there. We were a little late though. Did you guys see that? Like when we covered for elliptic was already like 1 HP. That also could mean elliptic that you have to call for care a little faster. So just take that into account.
Flying high. No. Nothing gets past me. Neutralizing projectiles.
وريهم قوتك.
All right. Well, one thing you guys might have noticed is that Flash, can you go back like 40 seconds? Just 2 times. Click. All right. So spectate overlay for me. All right. So you notice that they're all around point. There's a Genji in the right bottom. There's a Ana in the left top. The carry's gonna move up to the Ana. The Venture's pushing points. They have a lot of angles covered right now. And one part of the map that needs to be controlled in order to control this point is where the Ana is standing, actually. If the Ana stands there and we don't contest her, she will get access to every single angle on the point except the entrance where we walk out of. So learning these pivotal points on the map are going to be very, very important for us to know what parts of the map to control. Like, you can be on cart for as long as you want. If you can't reach that Ana's just going to be raining hell from above, and you guys won't be able to do anything about it. Another similar position, like on this first point specifically, will be that little staircase on the right side that I mentioned earlier. So knowing where to cover and what areas of the map are important to control will help you guys learn, okay, this makes a very good angle for us. So there are different ways to contest this. It is difficult for the supports to contest it. So I'm gonna give the tank and DPS tips of controlling this part. Elliptic, your favored positioning in this scenario would be the right side high ground, the one that is opposite of where you are currently standing. You would rather be standing there because it forces them to move across the map and hunt you down. If you engage right where you are, it's easy for them to access that high ground because it's not open space and it's very tight and there's no angles of danger that pressures them out. You guys have probably played this map enough to understand that walking out of those two doors on the left are hell. It is very difficult to walk through those two doors and not expect to die, not expect to get a huge shit ton of damage poured down on you. It's very simple. Those two doors are very easy to cover. So, opposite, elliptic can cover the right, can go over to the right side, and it'll make it much more easy for your team to move through because now you're over there and you're also one of their targets. But that also means that you need to be prepared to walk away because you know that they're going to be after you. So, elliptic is going to move over to right high ground. That means he needs support. He's on the other side of the map, and it's very hard for the Ana to hit all their shots on like the other side high ground. It's hard to expect him not to miss, and even if he doesn't miss, they might get damage enough to kill Elliptic. So it who might be a good option to go there with Elliptic? It's Dill. If Dill goes to the right side high ground with Elliptic, they suddenly have to kill a Kiri and a Ash just to control that high ground. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
maybe a Winston can do it. Maybe. But that requires a tank. Now we have Splash, and Splash can move through the map as he pleases because the monkey isn't covering Splash. So that's a trade-off that we're willing to take. So we have to think what parts of the map that we aren't using that might help us. You guys need to look for it actively, and elliptic or sneepy, either or, you guys need to understand that just going somewhere alone will make it difficult for you to even hold the area. Like, let's say Sneepy goes to the right side high ground. Sure, he wouldn't die. He has Wraith, he's a Reaper. But he wouldn't be scaring off anybody a lot either because he is in a lot more danger than he is imposing. So if let's say Carrie and Reaper was over there, monkey wouldn't jump in that direction simply because the Kiri can Suzu, Kiri can TP, Reaper can Wraith. There's no way that Winston is killing anybody. If there's Elliptic over there, the monkey might jump, but he still probably won't get a kill. Elliptic has Coach Gun, and Kiriko still has heals. Like those dynamics that we have throughout the map will help you understand that having a 2-3 combination for our team going forward, even in dives, will be our cemented strategy. You guys will move at least in pairs, at the very least. If you're alone, you find yourself alone, you are out of position. That will be the call. Sneepy, if you are found alone and found dead, cold, and alone, I will be blaming you for your death and call it suicide instead of homicide. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Elliptic, that's the same for you. You have to have somebody next to you. You cannot go on a flank alone. That will not be excusable unless you get a 3K. If you get a 3K, I'll excuse it. Otherwise, do not.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
You're mentioning always stay in pairs. Is that the case even if we have like a tracer?
I don't think we're going to be playing Tracer anytime soon, but even with Tracer,
I'm just saying
yes.
hypothetically. Okay.
So with Tracer, it's going to be hard to keep up as a support, right?
Mhm.
That would entail a Lucio. Does that make
Gotcha.
sense?
Yeah.
Because the Lucio can keep up with the Tracer. And plus, Lucio's heals are enough for a Tracer to survive. So, like, let's say we're playing Saravasa. We have Splash on maybe Orisa or Ram, or maybe even Diva, and we'll have Ares or French Toad on Kiriko, and we'll have Dill on Lucio, or Ares on Lucio, depending on what support we're using. We'll have Elliptic on Tracer and just spinning around their backline and turning heads, and Lucio could be doing the same thing. Like they both can disengage very quickly, but they can also engage very quickly. So you guys can push and pull the rope as much as you guys want without actually dying. Unless, of course, they commit to you, which you guys should be very like very ready for, because when you guys are on the flank, you guys have to expect your team cannot help you. You guys are there on your own accord, and you guys have to survive. So instead of looking for kills on the flank, always think, am I gonna die in this? You always have to think that. Is there a way for me to get away if I am 25 HP right now? That is always the stance to take on a flank. Snappy.
Okay.
Yes, good. So that is going to be the main and the side that we're gonna have. Even on Brawl, even on Dive, that is gonna be the composition that we're gonna take. Obviously on Brawl, it's not gonna be as a like widespread movement, but we need somebody to control the sides always, even if we're on Brawl. That's gonna be Venture, that's gonna be Reaper. On a dive, Elliptic's gonna be doing it on Tracer. So if Elliptic doesn't feel like Tracer is like we're not doing Tracer today, Elliptic's gonna have to stay with main, and then Sneepy's going to go on the flank as a Reaper Venture. So you guys can switch around what heroes you guys want to play, what like aspects of the what compositions to play based on bands and stuff, based on maps. But I want you guys to have a stable foundation of how you guys play in a uniform manner, so you guys can build on that teamwork. Okay,
All right.
you'll see that the enemy is already doing this, which is why we kind of lost to them, even though they're not that much better than us. They know their maps, they know their roles, and they're doing their roles without actually having much pressure put onto them by us. So they're not exactly that much better than us in like mechanical skill. They're plat. They're gold maybe, and maybe their one tank is what GM.
GM.
So that might be a gap, but otherwise they're not that good. The reason why we couldn't stand up against them, or they didn't have a problem stomping us, is because we didn't give them a hard time doing it. So let's see how this map goes, and Splash, you can just follow along the fight as it progresses. But you'll notice it's much more uncomfortable for us than it ever
Nothing gets past me.
is for them.
Oh yeah, I got like alt tabs right there.
Neutralize
You see this Ana?
projectiles.
Close your eyes.
This Ana's just up there.
Compose.
He's doing everything he wants. And more. The Winston overextended. So did the Venture. So did the Genji. But this Ana survives this.
Yes.
That's just how free she was.
안녕.
So finding ways to cover these angles, finding positions to cover, to hold these areas are gonna be the homework for the scrims that you guys have in the future. Like you see the Venture moving. He's going through the server room. He's going wide. He's not going straight at the enemy. Even though that we didn't have mech. So now they have a Nano Winston and a Venture on the side where it's hard for us to deal with them.
Nerf this.
And for the first time, you guys can see that the Ana and the
Projectile.
Kiriko aren't even in the fights. They're playing way too safe.
Forward barrier activated.
You guys see that? Their Ana Kiri was away from the fight for so long that their front line had great macro, but the back line didn't follow up on it
60 seconds
so bad,
remaining.
so they just died. And Splash didn't have mech, so that's unfortunate, but that's gonna happen if you don't have mech on Diva. You can't hold space. So, gonna be obvious. Main objective, main area of the map you guys gotta control on second point, this high ground. You guys have to risk your lives for this high ground. It doesn't matter. You cannot control point without this high ground.
That must sting.
Which is why they're risking their lives over it too. They have 3 people up there.
She's gonna blow.
They know it's important. They have 4 people up there now. Now they're giving it up. But not
Awake.
before they got control of the map.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
It took too long for us to get control of the high ground, which is why they were able to push it for so long. Does that make sense?
What's up?
So, important part of this map is the high ground that Elliptic is currently on. Control there, and you can control where the card goes.
Bob, do something.
Elliptic, I'm gonna ask you to position a lot more forward than you usually do.
The payload is
Okay.
Just not as forward as Splash. So your position wasn't bad, but as soon as you see them engaging, I need you to back away. Because you died while using Bob while you were in the front line for just 1 or 2 seconds too late.
Hey, catch.
Rest up, old man.
Forward barrier activated.
وريهم قوتك.
Again, their Ana is way in the back, not contested at all.
Nerf this.
Which is why we did not win this one. Like, we can try our best, but it's a 4v5.
Come here,
With one, like, it's a 4v5 in the instance where they have 4 on us, but one of them are immortal. The Ana's never gonna die.
She's gonna blow.
Round one. Initiating match.
All right. Am I going too fast with the material, or is
No,
this
this is good.
No, it's good.
this is good?
I've
All
just-
right.
I've just been sitting here, Pepe note take.
I am recording this, so this will be on my YouTube afterwards.
All right.
So we can just go back whenever.
Yeah, the things I said today are just things to practice as you guys go
Ready
along,
for
like
battle.
things that will help you the longer you play it out.
4,
So Overwatch, unlike many other games, is not a
Attackers incoming.
oh, I understand it now and I shall completely master it as soon as now that I know it. It does not work that way. Like even if you know this shit, if you don't remember it in like the middle of the fight when it's actually happening and you don't recognize it as quickly, it doesn't mean jack shit. So even pro teams, even pro players fail to recognize some stuff while the map is going on. So you guys have to remember that. We will make mistakes, we will let things happen that shouldn't happen, like we miss a shot that right in the enemy's face that we shouldn't have let happen. That stuff happens with pros too. But the reason why pros don't die as consistently or as much as we do is because they have better positioning and they have better understanding of when to push and pull in order for them to not die. Like this, our Ana is getting pressured by this Winston, and our front line's way too busy standing in Hula Land, and eventually, yeah, we're dying. Our Ana dies alone, cold, and like angry.
I know before when we practiced on this map, you told me that I should be the one like holding cart, like trying to get that underneath the bridge.
Yes.
Should I have done the same here? Because I was trying to help my supports off the start. Backblocks.
I'll leave that to Splash. Splash should be covering for the teammates. You should be pushing point. The best
Okay.
character for this would be Tracer, but nobody on this team
Excavation initiation.
plays Tracer unless Elliptic does, and Elliptic is preferably supposed to be on hit scan on this map.
I also think Tracer was banned when we were playing.
Tracer might have gotten banned on this
Yeah,
one,
that might
but
be
I
the
think
case,
we
but
Yeah.
planned cast regardless. Maybe, I don't know.
hit scan on Watchpoint Gibraltar is a very good value to have, especially Ash or Freya. Widow is also a good card if you hit every shot, but that's not the case for almost even pro players. So pro players usually just stick to Freya here.
وريهم قوتك.
That's your job, Sneepy. Clearing the sides before we engage is always the flex DPS's role.
60 seconds
With my job.
remaining.
Yep. You can't leave it up to somebody else.
Just trying to have it. So at that, there's like you also have to flip. Yeah.
Oh, one other macro for ult economy. When you guys have 4 ults, for like 4 or 5 ults, don't be scared to use them. Like, just use, like,
30
I told you
seconds
guys to be like
remaining.
the aggressors, right? Just use ults whenever you get them. Like, make it a competition of who uses ult faster and stuff. That's not always the case. Like, if that's called being aggressive. But when you have 4 or 5 ults, whatever comp you're on, just be aggressive with it. You have the advantage. No team holds an advantage over like a 4 or 5 ult economy. Like
The
even if
payload
you're
has reached
like, let's say we're a diamond team going against masters, and they have no ults, and we constantly have ults every fight. I'm willing to bet you the diamond team wins.
On the high ground.
I'm here.
Hi there.
One of the second layers of communication after the comms and the calls are cleared are gonna be ult economy talking, ult planning, ult fighting, ult fight planning, and stuff like that. Tracking enemy ults. That's the second layer of communications. That's something even dragons are still working on. So don't expect like perfect ult tracking and stuff like that already. Clear your comms
I'm with
first,
you.
clear your calls first, and that's gonna make your games a lot more consistent.
No.
狐の鍵爪を解き放て Excavation initiation!
Also, just remember to use support ults
I'm
to
here.
engage. That's not gonna be like the 100% answer for all situations, but for general rule of thumb, it's usually the best. Support ults are there to keep up your sustainability, to help
60
you. Like
seconds
it's a
remaining.
utilization of an ability that helps people to move in, move out, or to survive a particularly hard place to survive. And it's a good way to engage. So at this level, at our level, we want to be using support ults to engage.
Be eradicated.
It makes us a lot more consistent.
30 seconds remaining.
Drowsy.
As we notice, our two of our supports were left alone on the left there.
وريهم قوتك.
10 seconds remaining.
So I know it's difficult to push through this map, so I'm gonna give you guys the run over for just this part of the map because it's just that hard. Ash, can you go back like 40 seconds?
وريهم.
All right. So it's hard to get past this map because they're on top of the dropship, right? Like they can just hit hard from far away without almost any like danger of us killing them. Like French Toad is in much more danger than Slasher X47 is because simply French Toad's walking through a corridor and Slasher is in a very wide open space with lots of different angles looking down onto French Toad. It's just that much harder. So what we can do is use the tank's ability or an ult in order to create space for us to move through these chokes. If we just walk through these chokes without respecting that the enemy has the upper hand, we will never get through these chokes. So in this situation, we have I would have both of our supports split up, split pushing. Flash would call the engage onto the drop ship with the expectancy just to drop off. Like you jump, you bubble, and you're not looking to kill anybody. You just drop off. You just leave the bubble there. Your job there was to get the bubble on the high ground, so they're not shooting down on you. Does that make sense, Splash?
Yeah.
Like you can like they could be low. They could have used sleep and nade and Suzu, and you're like, oh, they don't have cooldowns. I could still chase after him. No, that's not your job anymore. You've used bubble. You've used jump. You're no longer going in a second time without risking your health being chunked down. You've escorted the bubble to its point. You drop down and look to run or to live or to not get your health chunked down. But that's the opening that Splash can give you. That During this time, Elliptic, Sneepy, French Toad, and Dilregard can all walk forward without the enemy supports punching down onto them, hunkering down. Like you guys have space now, so that's space made. But they have ults. They can use ults in our corridors. So what can help us break that? We can either A, react to their ults, which might be too late, or B, use ults as we move in, so they have to make a choice. Does that make sense? So if we, let's say Dill uses Road onto cart, like from the left side top, and uses Road onto point. And now the enemy has to either A, use Blade to cut off Dill, or B, they have to just full dive onto Dill, just Dill or French Toad, just to kill him. But we have Road. The longer they stay on Road, the better it is for us. So that adds a level of pressure to the enemy team. Are you gonna blade into this? We still have our cooldowns. We have Road, and if you don't kill us immediately, you guys are in danger. So that's a level of pressure. So that forces them to either a dip or they're gonna either full commit. But if we don't add the pressure for them to do so, they can choose whatever they want. Like they're not pressured to make a decision. They're just standing there. Well, we have cart. We have control over the map. You guys have to make the decision, or we're just gonna look for picks and we're just gonna extend our reign over the control. So when we're not the ones in control of the map, you guys have to make decisions. You guys have to commit like investments to take control of the map. If you guys have like let's reverse the roles here. Like let's say we're a red team and they're a blue team. If we're in this position, we don't need ults to pressure them. We can just wait till they walk in and then we can ult. That's a choice. That means we're not under pressure. But when you're under pressure, you have to use investments to break the pressure. You have to pressure them. So when we're moving through here, when we're moving through chokes, not just Watchpoint Gibraltar, but any choke, make sure to make a big investment in order to crack it, or else that pressure is not going to lead up to like the that pressure is not going to be existent, and they're going to choose whatever they want to do in during the times that they want. So let's say they use Nano Blade, and because they got a little like scared because we used Road. And suddenly we've traded two ults for one. And that's good for us. And then Sneepy uses Death Blossom for some reason. And then Will Winston suddenly has to use Primal because he feels endangered because there's still a road and then there's the Reaper's trying to kill somebody. So we've used two ults and we've gotten three out of them, and it's now a fair game. And we have Primal coming up and we have High Noon coming up. Suddenly it's a better game for us. We might have lost the fight because they used Nanoblade and Primal, but we've forced out investments from them that they would not have wanted to use if we hadn't pressured them out in the first place. So that's the second step of macro that I want you guys to know. When you guys move into pressured spots, when you guys are attacking, when you guys don't have control over the map that you guys want, make investments, make the call, lead your team when you have the ult for your team. So Dill, when you have Road, when you have Beat, tell them, I want to use Beat, I want to use Road to engage. Or either that or make a decision say, they have Blade, I want to save my Beat for that. Like you have to tell what you have to tell your team what you want to use your ult for. Sneepy's gonna use his ult for a kill on the side. Like if there's a Genji on the side who doesn't have deflect, Sneepy can just press ult and force him out. Like the Genji doesn't have a choice, or he's gonna die, or he does die, and then suddenly you've got to kill off a Reaper ult that doesn't even get us a lot of kills, possibly in a mid fight because he gets slapped, get booped, or whatever. So, or Elliptic uses High Noon to just take space because they have to respect it and they have to back away. And our team uses that to our advantage, and we take the spaces that we couldn't normally have taken because Olympic's giving us High Noon. value. So look for those. Like tell your team how you're gonna use ult. You have to say it, or else your team doesn't know. We're not like Splash is on Winston. He's not gonna tell Dill how to use like Curie Road. Like Dill, you gotta use Curie Road now. Like he's not gonna say that. You are the one commanding your ult, so you have to say it. Okay,
Got it.
that accounts for everybody.
Okay.
I think that's enough for this map.
Yeah,
You guys
for
can
that
move
one.
on to the next one.
I mean, we have we have 15 minutes.
Can we VOD
Unless
review
we want
this
to stay
10-minute
over.
game in 15? I mean, really, it's just 4 little
Ready
points.
for battle.
It should be a little quicker.
We don't have to go through every single one.
Yeah.
Probably this,
I just-
the point that we win, and maybe like final point and one other.
Yeah,
Just 3 out of 4 of
That's
them.
how 4 works. No,
But
that
3
was
of
4.
them.
I'll find my own path.
5,
Give me a way.
4, 3, 2,
Alright.
1. Initial flashpoint.
Yeah, they did a TP.
So now
I
that
don't know how-
we have that in mind, I want you guys to look at the map and just form a macro perspective. Try to notice things. Read the map with your own eyes. Try
We're in
to
the
see what's
open.
going on.
Flashpoint unlocks
We're in the
10
damn open.
seconds.
This is
Flashpoint
the-
unlocked.
The game where we decided that we're just gonna like constantly all in. Okay, right?
Balls
Yeah.
in.
Yes.
Yeah, this is when I got out too late.
In those situations, just look for a kill. You're not gonna live. Like when there's 4v5, you will not live ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get old church.
The reasons why I said I want you guys to just go completely aggressive was because the playing second wasn't working with you guys. Like, you guys weren't like ready. You guys weren't ready to play the wait until they make a mistake. So I wanted you guys to look for something else, a new way to play.
Okay, I want to say something. I know I made the call for you to flank on your own. I will say I just noticed that you pushed into the same door as us. Because that kind of gives away where you are. That makes it easy for them just to shoot at you. I think a better spot for you to have come out of is right here.
Yeah, I think too, whenever I started going on the flank, you guys were still coming out of spawn, so I didn't realize what area you were setting up in, but I think I definitely should have positioned myself
That
better.
door or this door or that door are all perfect for you. Because they really have to turn around. Here, they're already facing towards us. They're facing towards you.
Yeah, you guys are
Basi-
noticing things now.
So basically, you're saying
That's all
any
you guys need
door
to do.
we wouldn't naturally go through
Yeah.
would be good for a tracer.
But I know you tried that later, and that was getting rough because they were just looking for you.
Yeah, I was also really worried because I kept going really wide to try and avoid them hearing my blink because they started just hard focusing me as soon as they heard me. And I'm just not sure what to do, I guess, in situations like these, because if I get too close where I can get the point in a reasonable time, they're going to hear me. And if I go far enough that they can't hear me, it takes me like 30 seconds.
Next point is where? That's this height.
Next flashpoint, Palace.
Can we go back like a few, like on that first point?
Oh, okay.
What if Elliptic, instead of going on the right side, like trying to come from, like right, flanking through the same direction we were going through? What if he went the left side and went that way? Yeah. This door.
Yeah, I could. That definitely would have worked
Then you
better.
come up
I didn't
here.
consider it as a
What would
time.
have been up here 20 seconds ago? Wu Yang. Their tracer. You could have had a little duel. You come out here, you're on their Wu Yang, you're on their tracer. Yeah, you would have gotten free reign on this guy.
Oh, also another thing weren't we also doing that thing where you would call a
We-
target and we'd all focus it too?
Yeah, but you're Tracer.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know if
Tracer's
that's
a free agent.
Mark
I feel like
'cause-
calling a target
it. Next
is
flashpoint.
only good
Palace.
if they're already like half or like low HP or like at least half.
One thing you guys need to know is if you guys feel like you don't have enough space, just everybody hit the tank. The tank will give up space and suddenly you will have space, okay? Reversely, splash, the moment you get low is the moment the team has to give up space.
Yep.
So you don't want to take too much damage. Like, sure, your supports are gonna heal you up,
Flashpoint.
but the constant
unlocked.
threat of you dying will force your team to give up space. Other pro coaches kind of say a tank or a DPS taking too much damage as being fat.
Yeah.
So Jolly right now would be playing fat. Like he's in open space, just taking everybody's damage. Like nom nom nom, that is all my damage. Just eating everything. Unironically, this is the most sophisticated fight on this map. Because we used one ult to engage each, and then we followed up and kept the turn up using ults. And so did they. Unironically, the most sophisticated fight on the map. Meaning we did good. We did good. We just didn't execute the things we wanted to, maybe. Maybe Focus Fire got a little chunked.
Palace.
But yeah, that's the idea. You guys want to be able to
Flashpoint.
read
Ruins.
where your team is and where to cover for your team. And once your team is safe, you guys can discern, oh, we can go after this guy. Let's kill this guy.
Hello. Flashpoint unlocks. In
Oh yeah,
10
one of the
seconds.
cons I don't like you guys saying, instead of saying kill, you guys like to say somebody has to die. I don't think that's a good com. It's way too long and it kind of has a negative connotation to it. So just try to go for kill instead.
This is good.
Yeah, you guys see it now, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys see it now.
It's like opening your third eye.
Whoa.
You see it. Yeah, it's a lot more obvious once you see it. The reason why we're winning this fight is because we stuck around and we were on top of the players on the enemy team that were just isolated. And it makes the fight so much more comfortable. It's not because we're hitting more shots all of a sudden, it's because we played better macro than before. And why did that happen? It's because we're going full send on whoever's low. Ares, you're gonna have to use your carry road a little bit like closer to the enemy.
Yeah. I see a straight line and my neurons activate.
I got the Tracer.
I got my face splash.
Next
Kill himself.
flashpoint. Temple.
Kinda.
This one's Temple. There it is.
Dill, I need you to keep your heal on a little longer, if
Got
you
it.
know what I mean. I see you eat a little too often. So Lucio's heals may not seem like much, but in the grand scheme of mid-fight or pre-fight,
Flashpoint
Lucio
unlocks
heals
in 10
are
seconds.
gonna add up a lot, and it's gonna get you beat a lot faster.
You walked right by that venture.
Yeah, I play low 2 aggressive. I got one in this venture. I don't know about that.
Splash, I'm gonna ask you to pause
Yay.
coming up here.
Oh.
狐の鍵爪を解き放て
Pause right here. Now I want us all to take a look at me right now.
There you go.
And then take a look at Dill right now.
Yeah, Dill's up there.
Now what is Dill on right now, out of curiosity? Is that heals or speed?
Heals.
Okay, he's on heals. Can we keep an eye on that? As I'm currently screaming, carry me, carry me, carry me, carry me, carry me, carry me!
Oh god.
Still heals.
Still heals, okay. I know
And
it's
then the
not when I die.
Arisa's off the map.
It might not have been here, actually. I think it was
There he
later.
is. I think I see green.
There's a Kiriko that's about to be on you. There goes
No,
the Tracer.
100% was right there.
There went the Tracer.
So one thing you notice is that we were all on top of the Kiri Road. If you can use Kiri Road like a blanket to the enemy team, then that's great. Like if you cover the enemy with road, it's really, really uncomfortable for the enemy team to be standing there. So I know Kiri Road doesn't look like it needs any aim, but if you can aim to put it all over the enemy team, then that's the good use of ult. It forces them off that area. Kinda, but people don't necessarily aim Kiri Road. Like you don't have to have it all over the enemy, but it's a general rule of thumb. If you use it backwards because you know that they're gonna engage on you and you need somewhere to back away to, that's also a use of it. That's different from Hazard ult, but it's a general rule of thumb. If you're engaging with Kiri Road, just put it over the enemy, and the enemy should back away.
I don't love those
Or
blinks. I don't love those blinks.
I saw those
I hate those blinks.
I think it's. I triple blinked into background and then immediately got focused by the Orisa.
Can we get a slow-mo recap on that one?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, did Joel or did he not at the very beginning of the game tell me that if I need to double or triple blink to get into their backline, that was acceptable?
This
Or
is
am I
egregious.
making
You're on
it out?
main. You're on main doing this.
The back line.
That's Orisa and Kiri.
The backline Orisa. Yes.
This is their
That's pretty
backline.
bad.
Right here. That's them. That's their front line. That's the back line.
I'm gonna give you a piece of advice. The tank is never the back line.
Unless it's
I mean, I
ball.
tried to get behind the tank. I definitely failed. But
And then look what they do. Look what they do. Turn around. He sees this. He turns around. They're all shooting you. You're getting pincered. What has to happen? E has to get hit, and then you need to blink out. And now you can't fight, because you need to wait for your recall to come back.
Yeah, that was pretty egregious.
That was egregious. I want you fighting over
I'm
here.
not gonna be pointing out mistakes like this right now. Like I know you guys want to pick up on the micro.
I know, I know.
At a team level,
more
I
just
can
joking
point out
around
every
at this
single
point.
little mistakes every single one of you did.
Let
and
me-
you
let
guys
me-
would feel
I would be
very
crying.
depressed.
I'd be crying. I would be.
But I'm not doing that because that's not important right now.
No.
No, I just thought it was funny.
That Tracer. Oh.
If you think that was bad, you got it in for you. Just give it like one more team fight for that time where Flash kept asking me if I was set up.
Oh,
I don't know if you were set up.
And then you got mad at me because I died and you told me I was engaged.
Cause how are you? That's sad.
Because their Tracer heard
So
me.
there you are.
blinking.
Okay, Tracer sees where you're gonna be. Tracer's expecting you.
Watch.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And then here I also panicked because you kept telling me to get into position. And then I just let myself basically die to the Tracer because I wasn't sure what to do because you really wanted me to push. That part was probably the most egregious play I think I've ever made.
I mean, yeah, this
Be
is
well
just an
playing.
uncoordinated
Oh, there goes the
fight. We
Tracer.
weren't ready. We weren't positioned. God, and then I realized how little time we have left.
Yeah. They rush here.
We have 4 ults here.
Excavation initiation!
Overtime.
I think it's full this
I'm fine with the double support ults. You guys just have to. So, one more thing. When you beat, I want everybody to just fuck the tank. Like that is going to be one of the easiest ways to get consistent value out of a beat dive. Everybody just fuck the tank because the point of a tank holding space is because they have a lot of health. If 5 of the enemy team are tanks, it's really scary to be a tank because suddenly you're not special. You're not special. You have 5 of the enemy having 10,000 health and they're all on top of you. Suddenly you're not holding space very well. But that's very, very temporary. So when you guys use beats and dive something, everybody should just say, fuck you tank, you're not special. And it should work. I'm almost 100% certain it's gonna work.
Your role sucks.
Like we can all be tanks for 2 seconds if we have this ult. Fuck you.
Tracer is a tank for exactly 2 seconds. We gotta capitalize on that.
Yeah, it should work. So when you guys beat dive anything, or like you can use double support also if you need, but if you just have beat, just remember to go after the tank. The tank is
Yeah.
gonna be dog water.
All right. Thank you
That's
very
it
much.
for me today.
All right.
Thanks for
Thank you, my Joel.
That's the
Thank you,
recording.
Joel.